I was making six figures. I had a 401k. I had savings. I was killing it. I moved up the corporate ladder, and I did all that, and I left all that to work out of a basement.
It's your boy, new day, new goals, let's own it. Episode 16, season 2, pretty much almost coming to an end. And we're gonna be going into the story of Arvin Lal, CEO of Shredz. You may recognize him from his Instagram handle, Arvin's World. And we're gonna go into pretty much the unknown story of Arvin. For the past year, he's been quiet. There's been a lot of controversy about what happened with Shredz, what happened with Arvin. There's been a lot of ridicule, a lot of hate. But we're gonna go into what really happened and then what it's like to be an entrepreneur, and when you least expect it, get punched in the face, get knocked down, and then how do you get back up from that? How do you make a real comeback? We're gonna go into the real story of what happened and how Arvin Lal is coming back and helping create that new movement for his company, Shredz. But before we get into that story, we're gonna get to know who is Arvin Lal.
My humble beginnings, I like to call them, I didn't grow up with a lot of money, but that doesn't mean that I didn't come from much. Joey Swoll is one of our athletes. He has a saying, I hate when people say I didn't come from much, because I came from a family that had a mother, a father, a roof over the head, food on the table. And I got the same thing to say. I lived in a one-bedroom apartment. I slept on my parents' bedroom floor. I didn't have a mattress. I actually used, we would roll out like comforters. And the thing is, I didn't think that shit was uncomfortable. Right. I was perfectly fine. I was a kid, until I was 11, 12 years old, sleeping on my parents' floor, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I was happy. I had cereal, I had popsicles, I had real food that I ate here and there. I had freedom to, watch TV, do what I wanted, play video games, and I had a roof over the head and I had food on the table. So to me, my childhood was great. I have two sisters. I'm blessed to have both my parents. There's people out there that don't have much, and when they don't have much, it means that they don't have love and support around them, and that to me is worth more than coming from anything like money. Those humble beginnings, man, they resonate deep into what you do as a person. I'm not saying that your childhood will manifest your destiny, and that's not true. I believe that you can create your destiny, any given moment in your life. But, my mom and dad both worked. My mom has bad knees, and, we could only afford one car. And when the car broke down, my mom had to walk to work 4.5 miles, with bad knees in all the seasons, and in Jersey, it's not too common to walk. It's not like New York City where you walk blocks. Walking on highways here and stuff is not, not safe, and it's not common, and my mom had a few friends at work, and I remember hearing her saying that they didn't want to take her to work because it was out of the way, and I said to myself, I said, I'm gonna do something in life where I can control that I'll never see someone I care about suffer like that ever again. And that's where my ambition comes from, It's not just about money, it's about taking care of the people around you. If you're in my circle, if you're in my crew, I'll make sure that you're good. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be loyal staff. I have a saying, you give me 100%, I give you 200% back. But if you give me 95%, I'm not give you back anything. And what that means is, you have energy as a person and effort. You show me 100%, I'll make sure I put 200, twice as much back into you. And that's the truth, and I live by that.
So now we're gonna get into how Arvin actually left the 9-to-5 life, that corporate life where he was making six figures. He could have been content. He could have been complacent. But you know what? He decided to go all in on entrepreneurship and really take that leap and go all in on his dream, building Shredz. And how did he go about doing that?
So remember the day that I resigned from corporate America. It was January 11, 2013. And I wrote a letter, my resignation, to the president of the company, and I wrote it 19 times before that 20th time, and I hit send. It was like 6 in the morning. I went into the office the next day, and you know, he called me into his office and said, "Hey, Arv, you know, come in here. You know, I got your email, and you know, I gotta let you know, we gotta let you go now because of all the proprietary information and sensitive information that you have. You know, I know you put your 2 weeks in, but you know, we gotta let you go now. You gotta hand in your laptop and your badge, right?" It wasn't a bad thing, and I did it. And he said, "You know how I know you're gonna be okay?" I said, "How?" He said, "I was in the mall the other day and I saw a guy in a Shredz t-shirt." And I was like, "Ah, that's a good feeling." So I left on that note, but you know, I was making 6 figures. I had a 401k. You know, I had savings. I was killing it. I moved up the corporate ladder, and I did all that, and I left all that to work out of a basement.
Talk to me a little bit about that vision, though. You know, how did you get into the fitness industry? You made that big jump from corporate America, but what was your vision?
You know, when I was 14, one of my best friends growing up named Brandon, he convinced me to join the gym. Now, when I say convinced me, I was gonna join Tiger Schulman's karate, okay? And I was literally gonna be the Karate Kid at age 14. And he's like, "Arv, what are you doing joining karate?" I'm like, "Look, this guy's got ripped abs and he can beat people up." And he's like, "Come on, let's join the gym. I just joined it, you know, last month, and you gotta start training and lifting weights." And I started, and I fell in love with it, you know. I trained, we would train for 4 or 5 hours a day, you know, and being 15, 16 years
Damn.
old. I remember being 18, 19, we trained for like 4 hours. We loved that shit, right? And the endorphins I got, the ability to kind of change myself, my appearance, the feeling, it was great, you know, and I became addicted to it. And, you know, my mom is a little overweight, you know, and when I saw the opportunity to get into a business, it was when a buddy of mine had formulated a fat burner, and I tried it. I lost a couple of pounds in the summer. I gave it to my mom. I saw that she lost weight. And right then I knew I had to be in fitness because the feeling I had, you know, working out, and it's like a drug, right? And the ability to help people, my mom who's overweight, to kind of lose weight, feel energy, and want to work out, that was huge. And right then I asked him, I said, "Hey, is this legal?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, we gotta sell it. We gotta get it out there." So that was the birth of Shredz. That was the birth of, you know, getting into fitness. It wasn't so much, oh, this is an industry that we're gonna tackle. I didn't look at data, I didn't look at statistics and say, this is the next big wave, you know, social media is the next big wave. I just saw the impact that it had on my mom, and I wanted to give that same impact to other people.
This guy went from literally working in his parents' basement, going all in, you know, grinding, putting in that work, to all of a sudden taking that company and turning it into tens of millions of dollars in revenue.
Fat burners over there. Let's go get them. Ow.
3, 1, 2, 3, boom! Defense on 3, 1, 2, 3, defense!
Wait. On a credit card with a credit limit.
Shredz, what got next?
$5,000, 2.5 years. Today, you are a part of history. What does that mean? That means today, Shredz has the largest booth in the history of the Olympia Expo in 50
Some of the best times of my life, man. You know, traveling the world, London, Brazil, you know, going to Australia. You know, I love people from Australia. They're awesome. It was humbling to see people in other countries come up, you know, wait in line and say, "You changed my life. You inspired me." You know, that's how I knew we had a world impact. It's different to see a comment. You know, you see a comment on your Instagram or your social handle, and it's one thing, but you see a person's face come up to you, hug you, you know, tell you this, it is impactful. And, you know, I've said this from the beginning, you know, success can come fast and it can leave just as fast. So you gotta make sure you stay humble. I've worked like I was broke since day one my work ethic has not changed, you know, and it's maybe because I'm a little paranoid, and I think, you know, I know that with ups there comes downs. It is, you know, it's the way the world works.
You know, it's interesting because you caught on to something really early on that most entrepreneurs overlook, right? Most young entrepreneurs today, they immediately look for how to make, you know, quick money, you know, and they're focusing on the money because they want that lifestyle so bad. So they're looking like, how can I find a business to get into that's gonna allow me to like make that profit, get that quick, you know, that quick money at the end of the day. And I remember when I first started, I actually was almost victim to that, thinking that that was success. But you really quickly realized, and Richard Branson, who's one of my favorite, you know, entrepreneurs ever, said that like any great idea is simply a business that improves people's lives. And it seems like you figured that out really early on. Talk to me a little bit about like the early days of seeing the results of Shredz improving lives. What were some of those satisfying moments where you knew you had something big?
You know, when we started going to expos, we had lines of people, hundreds of people waiting in line for hours, you know, just to meet myself and some of the athletes. And, you know, you have in an industry where, you know, there's a lot of bodybuilders and a lot of people who, and, you know, it takes a lot of dedication and time to be in bodybuilding, right? But they're on stage, they're competing, and they're, you know, winning trophies, and they're the ones that usually have lines. Now here you got a young guy in his 20s, young people in their early 20s, teens, some 18, 19-year-old, right? Having lines of hundreds of people at expos waiting for them, and everyone in the industry is like, who's Shredz? I've never seen this person compete in my life. I've never seen this guy or this girl, right? So, but what we brought is, we brought inspiration. Being able to connect with the other person, the follower, right? And essentially, that is what the core goal and vision of the brand is to inspire people and, you know, to better their life through fitness and health. And, you know, we have never said we want to hit a goal of X amount of dollars. A lot of companies out there, a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners say, I want to hit $1 billion. You know, I want to hit $1 billion in an annual year, which, you know, only a small percent actually even do. You know, for us, the goal has been to change and document 1 million changed lives. You know, Steve Jobs says, you know, he wants to put a dent in the world. You know, for us, for myself, the first milestone is that, not the money, not the success, not the Insta fame or, you know, celebrity status or whatever. It is the people that we're touching. You know, for me, the first milestone is 1 million changed and documented lives.
How are you in that journey? How you guys doing?
We're getting there. You know, we're over the hundreds of thousands. You know, and you'll never hear me talk about money that we're making. You know, materialistic things. That's not me. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs out there are boasting about the cars, the watches. Who gives a shit? You could buy a Lamborghini. Who gives a shit? How many people did you touch today? How many lives did you change today? You think Bill Gates is out there, you know, posting his Lamborghinis? The most successful people in the world don't count the dollars. They count the people that they touch. That's a fact.
I fucking love that so fucking much, dude. And I respect you so much for that. We're gonna get into what we can really learn from Arvin as one of the pioneers with influencer marketing. I mean, it was one of the things that gave him explosive growth in Shredz. But then we're gonna also get into what we can learn from him and how when you're using influencer marketing, you need to take full creative control and take ownership of your brand. You're the leader of the brand no matter what. And we're gonna go into a story and how it backfired on Arvin and was one of the biggest setbacks that he's had over the past year. Really, the point where Shredz kind of got a lot of negativity, a lot of people came at you, a lot of people came at the brand, a lot of people were hating, and it seemed like a lot of loyalty got taken away, a lot of respect, something that I know that you seem to like hold at the highest priority for you. It's not about money, it's about people's lives. And then all of a sudden, people took a shot at that. right? They try to take away that respect that you've earned and all that hard work that your brand has built. So talk to me a little bit about what happened there.
You know, a company is like your child. You know, you feed it, you give it attention, love and care, right? So you don't just leave your child, you know, if they do something wrong. You know, if they're a bad kid in school, you don't just turn your back on them. You know, so I look at what happened last year and people saying scam, you know, which is such a far place from an athlete photoshopping an image, you know. And regardless of if the company was involved with it or not, you know, as a mentor, as someone that people follow and lead, you know, that I'm associated with, I'll take responsibility for that. Whether or not, you know, it was us or not, as a mentor, that's my responsibility. But to see people associate the word scam with their company or that much negativity, it hurt, because what we stand for and what we built was so far from that. You know, thousands of customers, you know, who have changed their life for the better from using our products, our services, our motivation, you know. So it was more of they were taking shots not just at the brand, the people, it was more what we stood for.
He was knocked down. For the past year, there's a lot of people hating on him. There's a lot of doubters out there. But if you look at all the greatest leaders in the world, they've been in that moment. They've been knocked down. They've been punched in the face. And the difference is, how do you get back up? How do you continue to keep fighting?
You know, at first I was angry. You know, angry that people were taking jabs like this, unwarranted jabs that I consider, you know. Did an athlete Photoshop an image? Maybe. You know, if there's proof out there on the internet, you know, comparing what they posted versus what company pages posted, let's say they did, okay? People make mistakes. In life, people make mistakes. What's important is that you learn from them. And whether or not, you know, the company was involved with that or not, you know, we take responsibility, because as a company that's supposed to be creating leaders, you know, and mentoring them, you know, it's the right thing to do. And, you know, after I was angry, then I became upset, because I thought to myself, how is it that we do so much good year after year, you know, do it for the followers, do it for the supporters, and, you know, a couple of people just can take that and convolute it into something that is so misleading, you know. And I remained quiet for a good amount of time, because after I was upset, then I realized that I'm learning from this. And when I speak and tell the people, and, you know, the people that have followed us, that support us through everything, you know, I don't want to tell them that I've been quiet because I'm hiding. You know, I've been planning and preparing to continue the vision, to continue holding the torch, you know, towards our goal. And I wanted to come back strong. I wanted to come back, you know, out of the gates and show them that we're still here, because our vision is real and our vision is strong.
Did you think about quitting?
No, never. You know, I'm not a quitter. I'd have to be dead for someone to stop me, because I'm here to serve and here for a bigger reason and a purpose that has meaning. You know, I'm so committed to this movement, you know, that, listen, I could sell anything. I'm one of the best social media marketers I know. I could sell anything online. I could build brands. I could have left Shredz with the money I made, with the brand I built, sold it to another company. I could have walked away winning with everything, you know, an entrepreneur could ask for. And I could have went to the next thing and put more money in my bank account. You know what I did instead? I reinvested what I made, put it back into the company, put it back into the vision. And I'm here working hard, and I'm here still grinding like it's the first day. Why? Because we're here to accomplish a goal. and we're not fucking there yet. We still got work to do. We still got lives to change. We still got people to impact. And you know, maybe we got knocked down. You know, maybe we did. But I'll get back up as long as there's fucking air in my chest. Time and time and time again. I'll never fucking quit.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. That's fucking sick, dude. I fucking respect you for that. At the end of the day, what matters, money comes and goes, right? Arvin had this massive success. You know, he made all this money and it was quick, explosive growth. But you know what? And I can relate because this happened to me. It can be taken all away from you at any moment. And you know what? When life smacks you in the face and when people turn on you and when all odds are stacked against you and you hit that rock bottom moment, that's when your true character needs to show, who you truly are. When something like that happens to you, that's all that matters. And you need to be able to pick yourself back up no matter what, and just with maybe just the shirt on your back, be able to persevere and continue to keep fighting. Your character is what matters. You have to find that leader within. And that's something that I look forward to seeing with Arvin on what's happening next. And guys, you know what? Thank you. This was the last episode of Leaders Create Leaders Season 2. Our finale is still coming, so stay tuned. Definitely, please let us know how you enjoyed this season. Comment if you want to see Season 3, and if there's anyone in particular, like, share. Thank you for everyone being a part of this community. You know, we're just going to keep bringing the heat. It's your boy, GA. Until next time, peace.